Okay, so as I said, we will be speaking to Madam Kensema Amma Adade, who is an accountant and also an entrepreneur. She would be sharing with us, her working experience, how it has been for her, the success stories, the challenging stories, and what have you. And of course, some advice for some of us out there who really need it to help us in our, career and what have you. So Epifania would be speaking to her in a bit. So don't go away. Stay with us as they have this interesting and fruitful interaction. Epi, up to you.
Hi, Kensema. Oh, thank you, Barry. Sorry.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Hi, Kensema.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, very well. Excited to be on this show.
We're actually excited to have you on the show.
Excellent.
Okay, so for our audience sake, could you please tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay, I am 52 years young.
Wow.
I come backwards and forwards to Ghana. I've grown up in the UK. My dad's from Ghana, my mum's from Sierra Leone, and I'm into sport, heavily into sport. My passion is running. I did a marathon a couple of years ago. I do long distance cycling, and I've just started learning to swim now that I'm in Ghana, and it's easier to swim here because the weather's warmer. So yeah.
That's
and in terms of my
amazing.
business, as you know, I do accountancy and
Yes.
a bit of my own business as well.
Yes, that's a lot of things to do, but it's amazing, keeping fit and all those sporting activities. So, with all of this wonderful thing you do, what actually motivated you to venture into accountancy and then entrepreneurship?
Okay, accountancy, I think, stems from my love of maths, or my love of maths. I was good at maths, and I believe I was good at maths from school.
Mm-hmm.
I had a very good statistics teacher, maths and stats teacher, Mrs. Williams, and she was this big fat old white lady who was very strict but also very kind, and she would she did very successfully make me interested in maths, praise me, and I was good, and that in turn led me to want to do more maths. And so quite naturally, I then went into accountancy, did accountancy A levels, maths A levels, then degree, and then the accountancy qualification, which was hard work, but I enjoyed it. My parents too were quite disciplinarians and also focused on education a lot. And me back then, being the good shy little student, just went along and continued with the maths and the accountancy. And so going into the entrepreneurship,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of developed with my confidence.
Okay.
Just quickly tell you a small story
Please do.
why my confidence developed. I went to this large conference when I was working within the UK
Mm-hmm.
for British Telecom, and I kindly went along because my manager told me there was a spare place,
Mm-hmm.
and I went along because the hotel was nice and I believed there would be good food in the evening. Little did I know that conference would end up with me presenting to board members, directors, senior managers, and at that time I was a little junior accountant, but my name was picked out of a hat, and they said, "You, young lady, are going to present to us today." And from being completely petrified, I can't even tell you how the presentation went. I can't remember what words I used, but all I remember was being terrified and knowing that had to change.
Yeah.
And so since that day, I went on confidence development courses, public speaking courses, reading a lot of women who inspired me, and that in itself has led me to want to do more for myself. And I think with the sports as well, I've developed a can-do attitude. I think it's very important for women in particular to work on their confidence. Men, for for whatever reason, society, they're kind of told that they can do these things and women not so much. But women have the ability to do as much, even more than men. And this, I think, is important. It needs to be instilled in them more so, just to balance the genders and their contribution to society.
Wow, that's an amazing story.
I've said a lot, haven't I?
You have, and it's amazing. Like, it's good. Like, I just want to find out. You said from there, because you actually had to do the presentation and you were terrified, you actually had to pick your confidence up from that moment on. So, can we say that? I mean, prior to that, you were not really conscious of confidence. I mean, in yourself or the things you did.
Yeah, I was always very shy, always very quiet. And people look at me now and they laugh at me and they say, "There's no way, not you." And I'm like, yes, I was. And I'm still quite quiet, but some of my friends don't see that. But I've had to develop that.
Well, I'm happy. I'm happy that night happened. I'm happy I actually turned things around for you. And it's good. I also believe in what you said about the fact that women should actually be taught about being confident in the fact that they can equally do the thing. I mean, looking at gender balance. So in venturing into these fields, I mean, professionally, did you face any challenges just because you were a woman?
I believe so, yes. Mainly to do with, I suppose, men not wanting you to be there. I've witnessed, I've experienced, and that then, of course, the issues with being a female. You then, well, not, you don't have to, but just with regard to pregnancy, having to look after kids, that in itself faced other challenges. When I had my kids, I felt that I needed to over-contribute in order to I believe, match the men that I was working with. So if I would need to leave early, I would then the next day do maybe 2 or 3 hours to show that I was serious, rather than. So I was overcompensating, I felt, and working extra hard, which it's difficult, isn't it? Because
it is.
You want to show that you
belong, like you're worthy.
Yeah, you want to show you belong and that you're worth it. But stressing yourself out is never a good thing. So it's, I suppose, again, having the confidence to say, look, this is me, this is what I'm going through. You guys need to understand, rather than killing yourself.
That's true. That is very true. Wow. So, I mean, I think with time you came to realize that doing this 2 or 3 extra hours just to be able to prove that you could and that you belonged, you realize that, I mean, it was not really the best way. So how did you overcome these challenges? You know, the challenge of walking into a room and knowing that almost every man there looking at you was thinking you were not supposed to be here with us.
Yeah, I suppose because I'm quite competitive, I wouldn't ever shrink away from something because I didn't feel comfortable. I would, in a way, feel it necessary to feel uncomfortable, but still do it, and then give myself a pat on the back later. So, walking into a conference where, in the UK, or walking into an accountant's meeting, where I was the only black and only, or one of the few female people in the room, I would, compose myself, tell myself, look, I'm not any worse or better than anybody else in this room. So I suppose taking that space and filling that space and feeling proud to fill that space and hoping that others will come behind me to fill, others like me would follow through and fill more spaces in that room. So feeling that you're kind of, diplomat, or feeling that you're someone who's coming forward to make way for others is important. I don't think we should shy away because we're women It is going to be, I suppose, more difficult for us in particular places, but shying away isn't the option. So feeling strong, feeling empowered is important.
Definitely. Well, that is an amazing show. It's really quite, a distance journey you've come. And for every young lady listening to you right now out there, every woman listening to you right now, what would you like to tell them?
Yeah, particularly in Ghana, there's one statistic when I was asked to come on the show. What's one statistic I looked up, and it's that 46.4% in Ghana, 46.4% of women own businesses, and it's one of the highest rates in the world. So I'm giving information or advice to people who I hopefully already know this. It seems that in Ghana, the women are already raising the bar. Yeah. So I would like to applaud those women and say, keep on, carrying on. Look at to the younger girls. Look at your mum. Look at even your auntie, or even if it be your grandma. Follow through and make them proud.
Definitely. Okay, thank you so much, Kensema. Now, I have my two co-hosts here with me, and quickly before I let you go, I just want to find out if they have any questions for you, really quickly.
Okay, cool.
Barry?
Well, good afternoon, and thank you very much for granting us this your time. Very, very valuable.
Hi. No, my absolute privilege.
So, real quick, so before you actually got the opportunity to do the presentation and everything, were you ever intimidated by the fact that you may find yourself in the midst of a space being dominated by men? Did you ever felt intimidated at any point in time in your life?
I am always intimidated, and I always feel challenged. I felt nervous before coming on this show, but it's just you. To me, you only have one life. You need to put yourself in positions where I don't know, everyone's different, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I'm constantly feeling challenged, but it's about arising to those challenges. And after this interview, for instance, I'm going to feel happy.
Right.
Because I feel that I've achieved. So it's about, feeling uncomfortable and then achieving, I think. Don't know if I've answered your question.
All right. Yeah, you have. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time there.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Kensema. We're really grateful. We'll stay in touch, and we hope we can do more great things together. Now, that is a very inspiring story. So have a wonderful day, and thank you for granting us this interview.
Cool. Thank you so much. All right. Take care, guys.
All right. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm the writer king who sips communion wine from the calabash. And as I say, Mama Kwejebi Ofase, I urge you to tune in to Africa Global Radio, where we share our story, measure our growth, and craft our own future. Everything positive about Africa lives right here on Africa Global Radio. Penimbe companies sem, Mofrabetuan and Sisem, our shadows will find their places on the walls.
And you just heard that very interesting, fruitful interaction with the lady Epiphania and Kensema Amma Adade, an accountant and an entrepreneur, sharing with us, her journey throughout till today. And some advice she gave out there on how, sometimes you can actually push through. As she, rightfully mentioned, we're all different, dynamic in our own ways of doing things. But then again, something still remains constant. Just bolden up and meet the challenge. And let them know this is who you are, okay? So it's either they take you or they take you, because they do not have a choice. It includes the men and the women as well. Because sometimes, in as much as some men feel, no, they're not up to the task, they can't do this. Even some women actually even feel the same thing. Like hating on themselves. Really not the case. 31 minutes past 2 p.m. The show is Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio. Let me bring in my colleagues now so we can have a real quick touch on the interview so we can proceed to what's on, what's new. Epi,
Barry.
Very enlightening, isn't it?
Very, and I was super excited. I mean, I think at a point she just made me super happy when she said she loves math.
Yeah, it reminded me of yesterday's African champion, Faith Odunsi. It's like it's just logical reasoning, and you're good to go.
It makes you feel like
know?
you are not applying logical reasoning.
Yeah, exactly. Well, her own way of defining how she feels and how she thinks others should also, learn to love that particular subject. But very interesting. I mean, love and math right from
the get go.
The get go.
It's great. But I love the fact that that night that she actually took something empowering out of that night, because being terrified and being put in front of, board directors, management, you literally have to do a presentation.
You definitely.
And you were not prepared for this. You had no idea about it. Somebody could have actually made that experience leave them in a very broken, shallow state, but she literally decided to pick herself up out from it, work on it, and she actually made sure that she was better prepared should the opportunity next present itself. I think it's something that we as women should actually look out to doing. Let's pick up on our strength. And I love the fact that she was aware that in most of the rooms she walked into, the men looked at her and was just trying to say that you're not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
She didn't let that thought, and although she did feel intimidated, she didn't let it pull her down.
Yeah.
Like, this is me. Deal with it. Let me just do it afraid. Let me do it challenged. And when I'm done, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back.
Absolutely. Okay, Mame.
Barry.
Yeah, you heard Kensema Amma Adade.
Yes, I did.
And her, very brief but very interesting and insightful as well. I mean, right from loving maths, I think it's the opposite of you. Yeah. So if you don't love maths...
I love math.
You do?
You would have to love math to count money.
In that space, that's a different thing altogether. Loving money has nothing to do with calculating...
If I cannot count money...
algebra... or what do you call it?
Okay.
Logarithms.
I love basic math.
Like counting money math. That kind of one. I know.
Like 1 + 1-ish. Yeah, but Kensema spoke a lot, and I experienced it too, being scared to speak.
Right.
As I am talking to you right now, there's a position in church where I have to give announcements.
And
that
you're running
I've been
away
running
from it.
since like
Why?
2 years ago. Because it's standing in front of a crowd of people and speaking scares me every time.
How do you call that? Crowdophobia?
What did you
I think I
say?
need to check out that. Really? You're singing the choir, right?
I know, but even sometimes when I lead ministration in church, my eyes are closed half of the time.
And thank God for the glasses you wear.
Really?
So I actually understand the way she must have felt at that point in time, because she was just called on the spot. Just imagine being called on the spot. But she's come a long way because she took public speaking classes.
Yeah.
And then she has worked on her confidence and all of that, and I think that's a good thing.
Yep.
I think it's a story we can all take something from.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she realized I have a problem speaking in public. I need to work on it.
Exactly.
So then you look at her story, you listen to her story, and then you're like, maybe I should do this. I should take public speaking classes. I should be able to work on my confidence and all of that.
Right.
And I'm astounded by how far she has come. Not letting the fact that she's a woman stop her, and then realizing that I am a woman. So I have to do more to show my worth.
She made a very important point also by saying, okay, she got to a point where she had to take care of kids, do this and do that. But whenever she comes back the next day, she makes sure that she works extra hours to cover that up. Not to say so it's kind of like it's not an excuse.
Yes, being a woman is
not
exactly.
Sometimes some people make it feel like, oh, because you're a woman, you go home. And so it's kind of like it substantiates that argument that you're not equal to me because you're a woman, you got children to take care of,
you have pregnancy,
monthly wahala, So I like the fact that in as much as these challenges sets in, she found ways and means to kind of like
to
fill in the gap.
Yes,
for you not to come tomorrow and say, oh, but after all, I said it didn't finish. Okay, I finished it today. I did extra job. You're going home at 6. I'm going home at 8. So it's kind of like,
we're on the
super,
same scale.
exactly.
And then she talked about, before Epi comes in, I see her doing this, and when she does that, it's like she wants to come in.
Yeah.
Now, before Epi
Add more meat. Add more meat, Epi's, yeah? Okay.
But before Epi comes in, she also spoke about not shying away.
Yes.
And I think that is one great point. We should be open to taking opportunities. Wherever you see the opportunity, even if you're not prepared, you can try.
Yeah, just gather that confidence.
Because trying and failing is better than not trying at all.
Absolutely.
So not shying away from opportunities and taking opportunities that are given to us as they come.
Great.
So on that note, I want to make sure that you actually go take up that opportunity be given to you at church.
Oh, I've been thinking about it.
Stop thinking about it.
I just found the name. It says enoclophobia. You are an enoclophobic person.
I imagine the pride he felt in looking at you and saying,
I'm an enoclophobic person.
Now you until you take on that challenge, that would be my alias to you.
So Sunday,
right?
I don't know if Sunday you could go do, but then make sure you take it up. Stop thinking. You're done thinking
Lord
about
is
it.
my strength.
The Lord has always been your strength. Go and take it up.
If you had doubts before this particular interaction or interview with him, you should know.
I should stop shying away and actually take up the mantle.
Yeah, take up the mantle.
I wouldn't know how it would go until I tried.
One thing someone told me, said when you're speaking to a room of people and you feel you can't maintain eye contact and it's gonna disturb you,
and it's
not a look. It's just look at them. I
look
like animation. So look at them.
Don't look
and
at
just
someone's
imagine
eye.
them
Because
turning
if you look
into
at
some
my
of
face, you
your
wouldn't like it.
favorites.
So if you want to, does Barry like what I'm saying?
So look at them, and in your head, let them all turn into your favorite animation characters.
Yeah.
If it's Boss Baby or if it's Minions, just see them.
Yeah,
turn into
Minions for me would be better because these guys are more of them. And another important point she made was that she started off from the get-go loving math. So she focused all of her attention, energy into it. So yeah, eventually an accountant and entrepreneurship. You, on the other hand, you're a communicator. You told me you love communicating. So build that energy because eventually you will find yourself on a bigger platform, maybe outside Ghana, and you would have to do that because you would be recognized as that journalist, that public speaker, this and that.
But I don't know where it came back from because I thought for a year.
It depends because we've been here. This is radio.
No. I'm saying I thought in a senior high school for a year. So I don't know why. I don't know why
you do realize teaching in a senior high school for a year and
it's
basically
like the same thing.
It's the same thing, but this time you're the one who's the teacher. And you're teaching the students at that time. So maybe this time she feels because amongst the crowd there are people who are way maybe more learned than her.
She's just overthinking.
Or thinking she should say something that someone knows better.
No, she's just
You're just enoclophobic.
You just want to use that word, right?
Thank you very much.
But I think I would learn from
you should.
Kensema,
you should.
And
and I believe she's at our disposal now. You can reach out for more.
Now, one thing
I
want to say from what she said about the fact that she used to work 3 hours, 2 hours more, especially when she gave birth. And we both established the point was about not feeling like you belonged and then also the feeling of not being worthy. I think we should start feeling worthy in ourselves. Look, if we're waiting for somebody out there, if you're waiting for a man to give you his approval to make you feel like you've got it or you have it, then you're going to wait forever. But when you start feeling, when you actually know your worth and you know you deserve it, it determines how you react and the things you attract and how you treat things around you. She was literally breaking her back because she wanted to match up to them. So in a way, she had put herself in an unhealthy competition in the first place. But she was in a predisposed. She had just given birth. And these men hadn't given birth. Sorry, not to talk of raising children. But then she was doing both and still trying to match up and be seen as was still the same. No, she was worth her salt.
I don't even need to do these things to show that I were on the same level.
That's the thing. So we need to start feeling like we're worth it within ourselves first. And stop listening to what everybody else says about you.
All right, thank you very much, guys. The show was Africa Daily on Africa Global Radio. I am Barry Musa.